yena tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyata Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda. Everyone together, please. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Hare Krishna. So we welcome all the students today for joining us on the session on Hanumanji, and we'll begin right away. So we had discussed 5 lessons yesterday. We'll quickly just read out those lessons and then we'll start. We have total 12 lessons, so we have 7 lessons to cover today. So the first lesson that we learned or we discussed from the life of Hanumanji. In other words, Hanumanji through his life taught us many valuable lessons. And one of the first lessons that he taught us is understand what is true greatness. And the key idea of that was the true greatness does not lie in becoming the master of the master. Hanumanji always remained a servant, always remained subordinate to Sugriv, although Hanumanji was far much more qualified. Why? Because he had taken a vow or promise. He had given a vow or promise to his spiritual master, to his guru Suryadevta. And that's the reason Hanumanji is recognized for his loyalty and faithfulness. So Hanumanji teaches us from his life, the greatness lies not in becoming the boss or the master, it lies in becoming the servant of the devotees and of the Lord. Second lesson that Hanumanji taught from his life is whatever you do, whatever services, like we discussed different services Hanumanji did, we should try to do our best. We should put our best effort into it. We should understand what our potential is, and according to our potential, we should act. We should not be lazy in performing our activities. The third lesson that Hanumanji teaches us from his life is we should learn to accept responsibilities. We should not shy away from taking responsibility. And the foremost responsibility is responsibility of our own life. All of you are growing up kids, you're all in school, you should take responsibility of your education. Along with that, you should also take responsibility of educating yourself in spiritual knowledge. Like all of you are coming, for the last 3 weeks, more than 3 weeks, we have been having these regular sessions. So extremely grateful that all of you so sincerely are coming and attending these sessions. So Hanumanji from his life taught us the importance of accepting responsibilities. And when we accept responsibilities, that's the time when we grow up in our life. We become mature in knowledge. And that is what we saw from the life of Hanumanji. We are doing a recap. These are the lessons that we had discussed yesterday. Lesson number 4 that we discussed yesterday from the life of Hanumanji. All of us should learn how to speak properly. And what are the features of good speech? It should be pleasing. It should be honest speech. It should not be agitating to others, means disturbing to others. And the fourth, it should be beneficial. And we saw some different examples from the life of Hanumanji. Even when Hanumanji met Lord Ram for the first time, Lord Ram glorified the speech of Hanuman. He said, this person must be learned in all the scriptures. That's the reason he's able to speak so wisely. So Hanumanji taught the importance of speaking properly. And the fifth lesson that we discussed from the life of Hanumanji is always keep your promises. So we were discussing yesterday how Sugriv, although he gave promise to Lord Ram, but he forgot to fulfill. And after 4 months of Chaturmas, Hanumanji went to Sugriv and he reminded him, it's very important, Sugriv, that we always keep our promises. Whatever promise we take, we should always fulfill, because that way relationship becomes stronger. If we don't follow promises that we keep, then our relationship will break, it will lead to conflict. And that's what Hanumanji taught from this incident. Now, moving forward, and this was the concluding point of yesterday, that our personality does not depend on our profession. It's not that tomorrow we become an IT engineer or a doctor or a lawyer. It will make us a great personality. No, our personality depends on our character, our honesty and selflessness. And that is what makes a person great. And that is how Hanumanji, even up to today, is recognized and celebrated as one of the greatest personality from Ramayana. So with that as a background, let's begin our today's lessons. The lesson number 6 that Hanumanji taught from his life is work in a team. We should cultivate this habit of working in a team. How Hanumanji taught us? Hanumanji, when he told Sugriv that you should fulfill your promise, you should send a search party in all the directions. So Sugriv made teams and he put Hanumanji in one of the team led by Angad. And when the team was made, Sugriv called Hanumanji and he said, Hanumanji, although you are the excuse me, although you are the most qualified person in the team, yet I put you as a subordinate. Please try to assist Angad, and I know for sure you'll be able to find Mother Sita. And as we know the rest of the story, it was Hanumanji who alone flew across the ocean, struggled in Lanka, risked his life, found out about Sita and came back. Hanumanji did everything by himself. Yet he taught something very important about working in team. He never took the credit on either. He acted by himself. He always followed whatever the team decided. So two major things that Hanumanji taught by being a part of the team led by Angad is when we face challenges, if we are alone, if we are by ourselves, then life can become very difficult. Just like Hanuman, Angad, Jambavan, when they reached a dead end at the ocean, when they saw ocean, they all were very depressed. They thought this is the end of the world. They could not find Sita. So they all decided that they're going to fast until death. Imagine if Hanumanji was all alone, how difficult it would have become for him to deal with this challenge. And similarly, when Hanumanji became success, the success was not alone his, the success was of the team. So what he taught from that, when we become successful by ourselves, then there's a tendency of being proud. And when we face challenges, there is a possibility of getting discouraged. So when we are working by ourselves, in both the cases, when we face challenges or when we are victorious, both the cases, we are actually a loser. I'll give you a small example, a story, a beautiful story that will help you understand why it is so important for all of us to cultivate the sense of teamwork, as Hanumanji is teaching from his life. In a jungle, there were three animals who were very great friends of each other. There was a rat, there was a crow, and there was a tortoise. It's a story of three animals, rat, crow, and tortoise. They were, they were thick friends. One day they was just sitting on the ground and talking to each other. Suddenly they saw a deer running for his life very fast across the forest. And the tortoise was the wise man among all the three. So he told the crow, Crow, you can fly in the sky. Please go and fly and see what happened to the deer. Is a hunter chasing after the deer? If that's the case, then we also have to run away. So Crow flew in the sky and he saw that the deer entered the river, and behind that there was a hunter coming. So Crow came back and he said, yes, the hunter is coming. We should all hide in our places. So they hid in the places, and the crow again went up in the sky to see if hunter had gone away. When hunter went away, he came back. He told the tortoise. Then tortoise told the rat, Rat, go and tell the deer that he's safe now. Bring him back. So like that, the deer's life was saved. He came back, and all the four of them started to live together. One morning, the deer did not came to the place where all these four animals would meet. So the tortoise got worried. He said, Crow, what happened? What happened to our friend tortoise? Is he being killed by the tiger, or has he been captured by the hunter? So again, tortoise was the wise man. He told the crow, because it had the wings, please fly in the sky and find out where is our deer, where is our friend. So the crow flew in the sky. He saw actually the deer has been captured by the hunter and has been put behind the net. So the crow came back to the tortoise, the wise man, the wise animal. He told the tortoise, our dear friend deer has been captured. Immediately tortoise told the rat, Rat, get onto the back of the crow, fly along with the crow and get down where our friend deer is captured. You cut open the net and escape the deer. Like that, the rat flew along with the crow, came to the spot where their friend deer was kept, and the deer was escaped. And like that, all four of them came together. All three of them came together. They were able to save the life of deer. Think for yourself. Could crow could have managed to save the life of deer by herself or itself? Do you think by itself, if the crow was there, the crow would have managed to cut the net? Would have managed to escape the deer? No. Similarly, tortoise on himself could not have done the possible thing. And similarly, the rat, although had the strength to cut the net, but could have never figured out where the deer is. So all three of them came together, and their strength together gave them the success. And that's the importance of teamwork. So that's the sixth lesson that Hanumanji taught from his life. Let's go to the seventh lesson, a very, very important lesson for all of us, particularly in this day and time that Hanumanji taught from his life. Become a good listener. When did he exhibit this quality of a good listening? When they were at the end of when they were by the side of an ocean and they could not find any hope where Sita is. At that point of time, there was a vulture by the name of Sampati who had no wings, an old, deceased looking vulture sitting on the tree. And he began to speak to Angad, Jambavan, Hanuman. Now, Hanuman is the greatest of all, Jambavan is the wisest of all, and Angad is the prince of wanderers. And Hanuman, along with others, they heard patiently from Sampati. Because they heard from Sampati, they did not say, hey, why we have to hear and take advice from Sampati? This is a useless creature. What can he tell? He cannot even fly in the sky. But because they heard Sampati, that's the reason they got an idea or a clue where is Mother Sita. Similarly, all of us, the challenge that we face is we love to talk a lot. How many of you love to talk a lot? Okay. Along with that, we should also cultivate the habit of listening. It's a very important thing. We should cultivate this habit of listening and following the advice. I'll give you a sweet, nice, interesting example, a story for it, why it is so important to cultivate this particular quality. There was a turtle, and there were two swans who lived by the side of a lake, and they all three were very good friends of each other. One particular year, there was no rainfall in that area, because of which the whole lake dried up. The swans and the tortoise, the turtle, not the tortoise, the turtle, they didn't have anything to drink because the water is needed for their sustenance. So the turtle requested the swans, because you both can fly, could you go and find in the neighborhood area if there is any other lake? The swans went up in the sky, and after some time they came back. They said, yes, there is a lake nearby. So turtle, the wise man, he said, well, we do one thing. You hold onto a stick by your feet, and I will catch onto the stick by my mouth. And like that, you can fly, and along with you, I'll fly. So the swan said, turtle, the brilliant idea, but we have an advice for you. Please pay attention, the importance of good listening skills. And he said, we have advice for you. When you catch hold of the stick and when we are flying up in the sky, please make sure don't open your mouth. If you open your mouth, you'll fall down and you will die. The turtle said, yeah, I know better. Don't teach me. I know what to do, and so forth. So the swans are flying in the sky. The turtle is holding the stick, which the swans have caught hold of the stick. And like that, they all three are flying in the sky. Suddenly, the villagers, when they saw this special sight, the turtle is flying in the sky, they begin to say, oh, what a great turtle, what a special turtle it is. And when the turtle heard that people are talking about him, he could not control himself. And he opened his mouth and he said, who's talking about me? Because he could not see, and you can guess what happened. Because turtle did not pay attention to the advice by the swan, he opened his mouth and he fell on the ground and died. Similarly, if Hanumanji, Angad and Jambavan would not have heard from Sampati, they had already decided fast until death. So it's very important for all of us, as Hanumanji is teaching from his life, we should not only be a good chatter, or we should not only love to speak, we should also listen to others. That's lesson number 7. And by the way, all of you are writing the lessons, because I have an exercise after this. I hope you have a pen and paper. I forgot to ask you this. Yes, please write down the the lessons that we have on the screen. So we have discussed 2 lessons so far. Lesson number 6 and 7, be a good listener and work in a team. Let's go to lesson number 8. Face the challenges. Now, challenges means difficulties. All of us would have difficulties when we are growing up, at different times, different sense of difficulties. When Hanuman flew up in the sky to cross over the ocean and to reach Lanka, he faced many obstacles. What, what the kids think, what are their greatest difficulties? What do they experience as the greatest difficulty? Have we experienced any difficulty once in a while or often? If yes, please type in your answer. I would like to see what difficulties or challenges do you face in your life that you would like to talk about, and I'll give you some clue. So how did Hanumanji face difficulties in his life? He came across the Golden Mountain. We have already spoken about it in the previous session. Then he came across the goddess Surasa, and then he came across the demon Simika. So 4 different kinds of difficulties were there. Yet he stayed focused on the mission. He had a mission to fulfill, and the mission was given by Lord Ram to him to find Mother Sita. Because he had a mission in his life and he remembered it, he did not get discouraged. He did not run away from the challenges. It is not that when he saw the Simika, the demoness Simika, he got frightened and he thought, let me run back to Bharat, or let me run back to Ram and say I cannot cross. No, he continued on and dealt with it. So first, he stayed focused on his mission, and second, all through Hanumanji was chanting the names of the Lord. What is the importance of chanting the names of the Lord? Because when we chant the names of the Lord, by that process of chanting, we come in association with the Lord. And when we come in the association of the Lord, we get 2 things. Please write down for all of you. When we regularly chant the holy names of the Lord, we get 2 things. One, we get strength, and second, we get intelligence. Hanumanji, through his journey across the ocean, showed his strength as well as intelligence. Strength in growing in a huge size to deal with Surasa, as well as to kill the Simika, and intelligence also, how he dealt with Surasa and Simika, both like that. So, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, I'll give you the verse later on, I don't have the slide, but please write down the chapter number. Chapter number 10 and verse number 10. Krishna says, Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam pritipurukam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upiyantite. Krishna says, whoever chants my name, whoever engages in my service, I give them the intelligence. Because Hanumanji was constantly chanting the name of Lord Ram by his side, and was giving him the necessary intelligence and strength. So similarly, Hanumanji is teaching us challenges would be there in our life. If you want to face challenge, always remember 2 things. Stay focused on the purpose, on your mission. And second, always take shelter of the holy names of the Lord. By being in association of the Lord, we'll get strength as well as intelligence to deal with our challenges. So that's lesson number 8. Let's go to lesson number 9. Lesson number 9, stay positive and optimistic. So what happened when Hanumanji crossed over and reached to Lanka? He took a form of a small cat and he went all over the Lanka. He searched and searched in every nook and corner of Lanka. But Hanumanji could not find Sita. He tried his best. And after that, Hanumanji got worried. He thought maybe Sita might have committed suicide because of the tortures of Ravana. Or else Hanumanji thought, maybe Ravana, because he's such a demoniac person, he might have eaten Sita alive because Sita might have not agreed to the proposal of Ravana. Or maybe Sita died in separation of Lord Ram. So he began to think like this and he became little hopeless. Hanuman thought, if now I have to go back to Lord Ram and tell him that I could not find Sita, Lord Ram, Lakshman, Sugriv, all the Vanaras will commit suicide. I cannot let it happen. And that point of time, Hanumanji took a vow. He made a determination. I will not go back from Lanka unless I have found Sita. Unless I know about the whereabouts of Mother Sita, I will not go back. And because he had that hope, he maintained that positivity despite of so much difficulties. As we all know, finally Hanumanji was able to find Mother Sita, in the Ashok Vatika. So what Hanumanji is teaching from this episode, we have all discussed his stories in our previous sessions. The very first thing he's teaching us is keep trying. Don't give up. You will get success. Just like Hanumanji kept on trying, similarly, we should keep trying. We should not give up so easily. Try your best and leave the rest on the Lord. Lord will take care. And that's what happened with Hanumanji. I'll give you a small story related to it. Very interesting story. There were two cockroaches. They were living in a kitchen. I believe some of our kitchen may have too many cockroaches, but there were two cockroaches in this particular kitchen. So one day while playing, they fell into a pot of a milk. Now, you know, cockroaches are very tiny creatures and fall in a pot of a milk. If they don't come out of the milk, they probably would die. They will drown and die. So both the cockroaches, they didn't want to die. They were swimming at the best of their capacity. They were churning their tiny feet or the legs as much as they could so that they can come out of the milk pot, but they could not. They tried and tried and tried. So one of the cockroaches said, "My dear friend, I'm so tired. I cannot do it anymore. I don't see any hope. I'm dying. I cannot continue." The friend caught hold of him. He said, "No, please don't give it up. Please stay on with me. I promise you will be able to cross over this pot of milk." The other friend said, "No, I cannot." And he stopped swimming. And what happened? Bloop! He drowned. And of course, you can understand what would happen after drowning. However, the other cockroach, he did not give it up. He continued trying his best, continued trying his best. He continued, swimming by his legs, tiny legs, because he kept churning the milk. Because he kept churning the milk. And as you know, as you churn the milk for a long time, a butter is formed. Malai कहते हैं हिंदी में, malai आ जाता है. Because he kept on churning, a heap of butter was formed around that area, which is a semi-solid. So a cockroach got on top of the heap of butter, and like that, he jumped off the pot. So what is the lesson? Because cockroach did not give up, that's the reason he was successful. Similarly, Hanumanji, although it was a very difficult situation, he did not give up. He continued. He had faith in God and he tried his best. That's the reason he was able to find Sita at the end. That's lesson number 9. Let's go to lesson number 10. Lesson number 10 is Hanumanji teaches us something very, very important. The very important quality is learn to appreciate. It's easy for all of us to appreciate the people who we like. If you have a friend who you like, if you have a brother or sister who you love, you can easily appreciate them. But it's very, very difficult to appreciate those who we don't like. However, Hanumanji taught something very valuable to us. When Hanumanji was caught by the Rakshasas, and when Hanumanji was brought in front of Ravana, and when Hanumanji looked at Ravana, he began to glorify. He said, "Oh my goodness, this Ravana is such an incredible personality. He's so handsome. He has such a courage. He has such a charisma. He's so intelligent." And Hanumanji told that time, "Wish if this person could have been a devotee of the Lord. If he would have been a devotee of the Lord, he would have been the best person in the world. But because he's envious of the Lord, all his good qualities have failed." In other words, Hanumanji was able to find or good qualities or even able to appreciate a person like Ravana. So how much we should try to cultivate this habit, at least learn to appreciate the people with whom we live. So here I have a homework for all of you. If you would like to do this small exercise. Do we have agreement? Do we acknowledgement? It's a small exercise. Okay, let's note down the exercise. Then we'll see how many of you are willing to do it. So the exercise is, please, write a compliment. You have to write a compliment for your teacher, for your friend, and for your family member. If you have a contact of your teacher, WhatsApp him or whatever, text him. If you have your family members around you, please write on a piece of paper a compliment and give it to them. If you want, you can speak to them also. But writing a compliment is easier than speaking sometimes because we shy off. And similarly to one of your friends or maybe your brother and sister, please go and do this exercise. Please give a compliment, appreciate them. and then tell me how was their response and how did you feel while appreciating. Do we all agree? Do we all acknowledge that we'll do this exercise? Please raise your hands or give me a thumbs up if you're all willing to do this exercise today. Okay, great. So let's wish you all the best, and I'll be eagerly waiting for your feedback on the WhatsApp group. Please write it back on the WhatsApp group. How did you feel when you appreciated others? All right, your exercise is clear. Appreciate and then write down your feedback. How did you feel when you appreciated others? So that's lesson number 10. Hanumanji taught us that the quality, the importance of appreciating others. Let's go to the lesson number 11. You know, when Hanumanji was caught, Ravana was very upset. Ravana wanted to kill Hanumanji, but Vibhishan came to the rescue of Hanumanji, and Vibhishan said, "Oh, Ravan, it is against the law, the moral codes, that you cannot kill a messenger." So Ravan, but still was very envious. He wanted to punish Hanuman. So he said, "Okay, Vibhishan, if you so insist, I will not kill him." He told his ministers, because a monkey have a lot of, monkey loves their tail. So let us put Hanumanji's tail on fire. So Hanumanji's tail was put on fire, and you all know the rest of the story as we have discussed earlier. Hanumanji grew in the size. He broke open the chains that were tied along his body, and he jumped. He flew in the sky, and he went out and he burnt the whole Lanka. So when he was burning the Lanka, he was really happy. But after some time, when Hanumanji saw that the whole Lanka is burning, he began to repent. And he was like, "Oh my goodness, I burnt the whole Lanka. I hope Mother Sita is okay. I hope Mother Sita does not get burnt in this whole fire that I have set up." And he began to blame himself. He began to repent. And he said, "If anything happened to Mother Sita because of my this conduct, if Mother Sita is harmed, I will put myself into this fire and burn and kill myself." Like that, Hanumanji began to repent and criticize himself for his act. So it's very, very important thing that Hanumanji taught. You know, Hanumanji was so much glorified by Mother Sita, so much glorified by Lord Ram, so much glorified by Sugriva, and he just did a great task. He jumped 800 yojanas. He found Mother Sita. When we do good things, when we do great things, but naturally we become overconfident about ourselves. And we think, "Oh, I cannot have any mistakes." But look, Hanumanji's humility. Despite being such a great personality, he was still conscious that if he has done something wrong, he should acknowledge it. And you know the rest of the story. Suddenly Hanumanji realized, "Arey, if the fire could not burn my tail, then how could fire burn Mother Sita? Because it was by the blessing of Mother Sita that I don't feel any pain in my tail which is burning. So of course Mother Sita must be safe." And then he went back to Ashok and he saw Mother Sita peacefully sitting there. Nothing had happened. But still Hanumanji taught us a very beautiful lesson. We should accept our mistakes. We should not defend or justify. So that's lesson number 11. And let's come to the last lesson from this series and the whole series of Hanumanji's life, the discussions and the lessons. Are very, very important and my favorite. Practice humility. Hanumanji taught us a very valuable lesson from his life. And that's lesson number 12, that to cultivate humility. So when Hanumanji reached to Mother Sita to see if Mother Sita is safe, hopefully the fire has not caused any harm there. When he reached there, Mother Sita, Hanumanji wanted to go and take final blessings from Mother Sita because now he was going back to Lord Ram. So he came to meet Mother Sita for the final time. When he came there, he saw Mother Sita look a little disturbed. So Hanumanji asked, "My dear mother, why are you looking anxiety? Why are you worried?" Mother Sita said, "Hanumanji, you are indeed a great warrior. You are a great Hanumanji. So you could jump 800 miles. You could come here and you can fight with all the Rakshasas. But I'm worried. Other Vanaras who are part of the Lord Ram's army, are they as qualified as you are? Because Ravan and the Rakshasas are very powerful. I'm worried. If they are not powerful enough, the other Vanaras, then Lord Ram will have difficulty, would have challenges." So here, if you see, Mother Sita actually glorified Hanumanji. You're so powerful, you're so brave. Simultaneously, she doubted other Vanaras. So, what would be an ordinary response? Oh, yes, yes, Mother Sita, you are true about me. You indeed have understood who I am, how great I am. And those Vanaras, yes, they are all useless, but don't worry because they have me. I am with them. I will give them strength and I'll give them encouragement. This would be an ordinary response. How did Hanumanji respond? He said, Hey, Mata Sita, I am the lowest of all Vanaras. Because I am the lowest and I am the weakest, that's the reason I have been asked to become a messenger of Lord Ram. The Vanas like Sugriv, Angad, Jambavan, and many others, they're hundreds and thousands of times more powerful than I am. And when Hanumanji spoke like this, Mother Sita became so happy. She became so convinced that yes, the army of Lord Ram is filled with great warriors. And such is the quality of Hanumanji. He did not boast it about himself and he did not find faults with other Vanaras. And because Hanumanji had such a great character, great qualities, that's the reason Hanumanji, even after millions of years later, is such a celebrated personality. In every temple of Lord Ram, we have a temple of Hanumanji. You don't find any other Vanara on the altar of Lord Ram. You don't find Sugriv, who was a king of Vanaras. You don't find Jambavan, the wisest. You don't find Angad, who was a prince of Vanaras. Find Hanumanji on the altar of Lord Ram. Hanumanji never had any position, but because Hanumanji had such a great character, such a wonderful qualities, that's the reason Hanumanji was so dear to Lord Ram. So there are so many warriors, and this is what Hanumanji said. I mean, I've already spoken about this thing. I'll give you one more example of Hanumanji's humility, and then we'll pause and we'll review all the qualities of the lessons that we learned. So, what happened when Hanumanji, after meeting with Sita, he flew back or he jumped back and he came, met Angad, Jambavan, gave them the good news, and all of them came and met Lord Ram. When all of them came, they pushed Hanumanji ahead, and Hanumanji went, and Lord Ram got up from his place and he tightly embraced Hanumanji because he was so happy that Hanumanji is successful in fulfilling the task. At that time, Lord Ram asked Hanumanji some interesting questions. Please pay attention to the question and the answer of Hanumanji. Lord Ram asked Hanumanji, "Oh mighty hero, how did you cross the ocean? How did you travel 800 miles in the sky? How did you jump?" And Hanumanji, with his head bowed, with all humility, said, "My dear Lord, by the power and glory of thy name," which means by the power and glory of your name. I was constantly chanting the name, your name of Lord Ram, because of which I had the strength to jump and fly across the ocean. Lord was greatly pleased. Hanumanji did not say, "It was my hard work, I jumped it, my dear Lord. So yes, I did it." He didn't say that. He said, "My dear Lord, it's all your mercy." Then Lord Ram said, "Hanumanji, but how did you save yourself in Lanka from the hands of Rakshasas? How did you find Mother Sita? And how did you all alone burn the whole Lanka? How did you accomplish such a great feat or such a great, such a great activity?" And again, Hanuman with hand bowed, with his head down, he said, "My dear Lord, by your grace. By thy grace, my dear Lord, it is all your grace and mercy because of which I could achieve unimaginable results. I could fulfill so many wonderful things. It's just because of all your kindness and grace." And such is the humility that Hanumanji taught from his life. Like that, Hanumanji, because he exhibited so many beautiful qualities and characteristics and so many beautiful lessons for all of us to imbibe, if all of us want to become a great personality, a great person, a celebrated person, we have to follow in the footsteps of Hanumanji. Celebrated not in the sense of the film stars, celebrated in the eyes of the Lord, in the eyes of the devotees. Then we should cultivate these 12 qualities, or we should follow these 12 lessons according to our capacity. All of you, if you have noted down these 12 lessons, just one, every day, focus on one of the lessons and try to improve yourself in that particular lesson. Every day you do this exercise. So you have 12 days, 12 days goes 12 lessons. And at the end of the 12th day, again begin the exercise. 13th day onward, again start from lesson 1 and continue. If you bring it into more of practice, become more conscious of these beautiful lessons, then we'll find that our appreciation and affection for Hanumanji will increase, and Hanumanji will become our true role model in our life and will be a far better kid, far better person, and far better devotee. So, to conclude for today's discussion, we had discussed 12 lessons, and those lessons are mentioned here in a summary. The very first, learn to understand what is true greatness. Lesson number 2, do your best. Lesson number 3, accept responsibilities. Lesson number 4, learn to speak properly. Lesson number 5, always keep your promises. Lesson number 6, we began our discussion today from here, work in a team. Lesson number 7, be a good listener. Remember the example of Sampati and remember the story of a tortoise and two swans that we discussed. Be ready to face the challenges. Don't run away from challenges. Lesson number 9, stay positive and optimistic. And that's how Hanumanji was able to find Mother Sita finally. Lesson number 10, learn to appreciate. Hanumanji could even appreciate Ravana. So how much we can learn this quality to at least appreciate the people who we care for. So your homework for today is that you're going to find one teacher, one friend, and some of your family members with whom you live. You're going to write one compliment. You're going to say something to them that you like and appreciate in them. And after that, you have to tell me, how did you feel when you did this exercise? And lesson number 11, acknowledge when we do mistakes. We should accept mistakes when we commit. We should not defend or justify. And lesson number 12, practice humility. Hanumanji exhibited that quality. And above all, Hanumanji exhibited devotion to Lord Ram. He always chanted the names of Lord Ram. So we should at least, among all these 12, the 13th quality, which I did not explicitly mention, is we should try to chant the holy names of the Lord. We should always practice this process of chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and because of which Hanumanji, as you know today, is the best of the devotee of the Lord and one of the most celebrated bhaktas in the whole creation. So with that, we thank you all for being part of this Hanumanji series. I guess we had almost 4 to 5 sessions. We'll continue next subject matter tomorrow onwards. Before we conclude for today here, if any one of you have any questions,